This is Flash Fiction Friday, episode 64, written by Alanah Andrews, read by Wright-Stevens. Each night she comes to our bedroom crying. My husband doesn't wake. Beside me his chest rises and falls in blissful ignorance of little sniffling sounds. It reminds me of when Annabelle was just a baby, and she'd wake 2 or 3 times in the night for her bottle. Derek didn't wake then either. He would yawn and stretch in the morning and comment on what a good baby she was sleeping through. I would hide a smile and agree, yes, she was perfect. They had such a good bond when Annie was little. She's still crying. Little whimpering noises coming from beside the bed. "Mummy." Her voice is thin and pleading, and I fight the pull of sleep. "What's wrong, Annie?" My voice is muffled against the pillow, and I resist the urge to send her back to her room. I had a bad dream. Without opening my eyes, I lift the covers and feel her scramble awkwardly across the bed to slip in between me and Derek. "I love you, Mummy." Her breath slows as her little body relaxes against me. I think briefly that I wish she had the same relationship with Derek as she did with me. I could see how hurt he was every time she wanted to spend time with me and not with him. He always said I cared more about Annie than I did about him. To be honest, it was probably true. "Do you want to talk about your dream?" I murmur quietly. She begins to cry again, and I immediately regret asking. "I dreamed I died." Her breath comes in panic sobs, and I reach out to comfort her. My hands grasp empty air. I scream and sit bolt upright in bed. This time, Derek wakes immediately. "Hon, what's wrong?" Scalding tears course down my cheeks as I rock back and forth. Derek slips an arm around me, clearly hoping to comfort me, but it just makes me feel trapped. I leap out of bed and stumble along the corridor to the kitchen. Derek follows. "Honey, it was just a dream." I shake my head, splashing cool water from the sink onto my face. "It was Annabelle, Derek. She visited me again." My husband reaches out to hold my hand, pity and concern lining his face. "Honey, like the counselor said." I snatch my hand away, my eyes burning with anger. I'm not upset anymore. I'm furious. I know she isn't simply a figment of my imagination. On my way back to our room, I stop outside of her bedroom, leaning heavily against the door. A moment later, Derek joins me, his warm arms encircling my waist. "I'm sorry, hon. We can get through this. You know we can, right?" I sigh and lean my head against his chest, willing the anger to subside. After all, since the accident, Derek has been my rock. He has made all the meals and forced me to eat when I didn't want to. He organized all the funeral arrangements, too, when I could barely get out of bed. I had felt us drifting apart over the last few years, but I suppose sometimes it takes a tragedy to realize what you have. He's right. We can get through this. On the other side of the door, a young girl giggles as a toy train chugs lazily around the track. His body stiffens, so I know he has heard it too. Such innocent sounds, and yet... He draws away, and his thoughts are clearly etched on his face. Is it possible to catch crazy from your wife? One nervous hand reaches for the doorknob, and icy fear shudders through my soul. "Don't!" Mid-giggle, he soundlessly opens the door. There is nothing to be seen. No train tracks, no little girl. He sighs deeply and walks away. He doesn't see the toy train lying awkwardly on its side, half hidden beneath the bed, its lonely wheels still chugging along in some desperate, hopeless journey. Ignoring the train, I close the door quietly and follow Derek back to our bedroom. The glowing lights on the alarm clock tell me it is 3 a.m. I take a sleeping pill and close my eyes, willing my heart to stop pounding so furiously. The medication starts to kick in, and my body becomes heavier, my mind clouding with fog. Ever so slowly, the darkness begins to consume my fears. She's back again. The clock shows it is now 4:11 a.m., far out. Her little sniffling noises draw me out of the depths of some dark dream, and I reach across to shake Derek away. She stops me with one word. "Don't!" I freeze. The panic in her voice frightens me. I withdraw my hand and feel her climb onto the end of the bed. Perched near my feet, she hums a tune that sounds vaguely familiar. My eyes strain futilely against the inky blackness. For a long time, she says nothing. I can almost pretend she's not there. And then she speaks. 6 terrifying words. He's going to kill you too. Thanks for listening. If you have a flash fiction piece you'd like to have read, please submit it to immortal-works.com.